In a career that's seen her crowned with every possible honour, Dame Helen Mirren is no stranger to monarchy. She won an Oscar, of course, in 2006 for her portrayal of the Queen. She's also played Elizabeth I and Queen Charlotte. Her latest legal role is as Catherine the Great. When we met recently, Helen Mirren told me why she believes the Russian Empress was not only a fearsome ruler, but a canny politician.
Do you know what I hold in my hand? Absolute power. Do you have any understanding of what that means?
Well, it can mean nothing at all. May I remind your Majesty that when we put you on the throne...
Now, you mind your language very carefully, Grigori. Remember who I am now. Have you forgotten? You would do so at your peril.
She certainly became tyrannical. She started off as a liberalizer. She wanted to free the serfs. She believed in women's education. Of course, she was a superb politician, and she was a very long-running monarch, one of the longest in history, actually, rather like our present Queen, rather like Elizabeth I. So she held on to power in a context that was so dangerous. She was an absolutely remarkable woman who was maligned by history, as powerful women often are.
The immediate aftermath of her reign, there were slurs about her sexuality. She died allegedly having sex with a horse.
Yes, completely untrue, obviously. Those rumours were more put about by Frederick. He hated her because he was a huge misogynist and absolutely didn't believe women should rule or should be anywhere but sort of, literally in the kitchen or in the bed, and was enraged that there was this woman who was as successful as he was. Yes, she had lovers, absolutely. She behaved, but she said, I love love, and she loved to be in love.
I came to tell you I saw the most gorgeous man.
Oh, where?
In the courtyard round the corner. If he's still there, he may have been snapped up.
Oh, there's always another gorgeous man around the corner.
How long have you got?
Long enough. That's Lieutenant Potemkin.
I saw him first.
I don't think that's strictly true. Anyway, who is the Empress of Russia?
You are, Your Majesty.
But you mentioned the current Queen, and of course you played her famously in the 2006 film. She has had a pretty miserable few weeks and so forth with this political crisis. Now, in your film, of course, she's got another political crisis, different kind of, a new Prime Minister, in that case, Tony Blair, giving her advice she doesn't really want to hear.
That's the way we do things in this country. Quietly. With dignity.
If that's your decision, ma'am, of course the government will support it.
Now she's had Boris Johnson in a very different situation. But, I mean, you know the Queen a little bit. What's your reflections on the position she's now in?
Obviously, she's coming at this particular constitutional crisis with an incredible body of experience and knowledge and understanding. If anyone is going to help us through this, I do believe it is actually the Queen, although obviously she has absolutely no political power whatsoever. But there is another kind of power, isn't there, that is beyond politics. And, I'm an Elizabethan. The whole of my life has, from the moment I can remember, I remember the Queen being crowned because I was 7 or something, and to this day. So she has been, she and I will probably leave this life around about the same time. So I'm absolutely Elizabethan. And that has given me an understanding and a weight to being British.
And you're in and out of Britain these days because you're working so hard, but you're still very patriotically British, as you say. Any reflections on the mood? We seem to be a very angry country at the moment.
Yes. I think it's so easy to slip into that sort of playground name-calling, and it's infantile. And I think what does distress me, and the same thing has happened in America, is the infantilization of politics. Don't point fingers in politics. Even physically, don't point fingers. It's a bullying technique.
You've played so many great rulers of one kind or another in your life. Is the message basically to the rest of us, calm down and grow up?
Calm down and grow up. There was a great quote from Catherine that I was looking at last night, which was, I praise in a loud voice and I scold in a whisper. I think all the politicians should go and read Catherine's letters and learn a few things.
That's very great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you,
Great,
Andrew.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.